Lindsey, thank you. It's National Indigenous Peoples Day, and we are talking about a powerful new project developed by a team of Indigenous creators. It presents an alternative audio track for Disney's Pocahontas, correcting the stereotypes and significant inaccuracies of the original film. Here to share more on Missing Matoaka is the project's screenwriter, Lauren Deliri. Good morning to you, Lauren.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So there were many Indigenous creators working on Missing Matoaka. When did you learn about it? How did you get involved?
So I was one of the first people brought on to the scene for this project, as I was the screenwriter, meaning I wrote the script. And they approached me, I think it was back in April. And of course, I was completely honored as an Indigenous person. Of course, like a lot of the times in my life, I was called Pocahontas. I didn't grow up near my reservation, and so I had that separation, and a lot of the people around me, the only thing they knew about Indigenous people were what they saw in the movies and through Hollywood, which most of the time those narratives are kind of damaging. And so although sometimes Pocahontas, the name it was lighthearted, sometimes it was teasing. So it definitely felt like a coming home to be able to, rewrite and course correct for Pocahontas and Matoaka's story.
The movie Pocahontas got it wrong. So what is the real story, Lauren?
Well, her birth name was Matoaka, and she was actually just a child. She was a kid when the European invaders, when they came over, when she first encountered John Smith and the others. She was just 10, and they were probably about 27, 28, and she was the Powhatan's daughter. She was very much protected, very much watched over. She wasn't the sex cat goddess mystery woman in the woods who was just aloof, wandering around. She was very much watched after. She was eventually kidnapped. She never ran away or abandoned her people, but she was actually kidnapped and forced to marry one of them, and was sexually assaulted and eventually died at 20 years old, fleeing from England. So her life is not the romance kid movie that we were taught to believe.
Today, we know that Indigenous women are 12 times more likely to be murdered or go missing than any other demographic. Why is it important to share these truths today?
Well, because like you said, I mean, it's an issue today. So although Matoaka's life story, it happened over 400 years ago, clearly this is still an issue. 4 out of 5 Indigenous women experience violence in their lifetime. That's a startling statistic. You mentioned the 12 times more likely to be murdered or go missing. That's a startling statistic. So, of course, this is an issue today. The stereotypes about Indigenous women is an issue today. Overly sexualized, made into this mystical creature that is somehow lifted up, but yet is less worthy. So this project really is a call for steps to hopefully break down those stereotypes and really cause an awakening that we as an Indigenous people are here and we're not a thing of the past, and this isn't going to be brushed under the rug anymore.
Lauren, where can people find the story about Matoaka?
You can go to missingmatoaka.ca, and that's where the audio is, and there's lots of information there as well.
Lauren, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm inspired by your work, and I'm really glad to talk to you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.